Classical guitar has gotten dramatically cleaner over the past 50 years. Today's players are faster, they're more precise, and their technique is incredible. But some people would argue that we've lost something along the way. So today we're going to listen to two world-class guitarists play the exact same piece, Bagatelle No. 3 by William Walton. And you're going to hear two very different interpretations. And by the end of this video, we're going to figure out why that is and if one interpretation serves the music more than the other. First up, we're going to listen to Julian Bream, who is one of the most influential classical guitarists of the 20th century. He's helped expand the repertoire, commissioned new works, and has inspired generations of players. And William Walton actually wrote these 5 bagatelles for Julian Bream himself. So in some ways, this piece is part of his DNA. Okay, let's stop there and analyze just a little bit of this. What are some of the first things that you guys notice just by listening to this? For me, it's obviously the tone colors and how much expressiveness he's getting and pulling out of the guitar. You just saw in that very last phrase, da -da 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 -da. Like he doesn't stay in one place with his right hand for very long because he's just constantly painting all these different colors with the music. I even hate to stop the video, but I want to just talk a little bit about the things that are going on. I mean, you can't help but just feel something. Like he is playing with such feeling and such expressiveness, like I mentioned, that it's tapping into your soul in a way, and he's very much like revealing his his musical spirit in a way, and it's just something to behold and to witness because it's very captivating. Stellar performance of that piece, stellar performance. And I think there's also something to be mentioned about the risk-taking that he takes in everything that he's doing, where perhaps some players nowadays might not be willing to take so much risk and have so much movement with the right hand in terms of creating all of these different timbres with the guitar. But how he does it is so recognizable that you can almost tell every time you hear Bream, even if you're not seeing him, you just hear it and you can tell that's Julian Bream because he has his own sound that is just 100% him and his character. So I'm curious, what do you prefer more? Tone colors and musical freedom or clarity and precision? Now let's listen to Gabriel Bianco, who represents a very different generation of guitarists. He's a highly accomplished concert artist and competition winner and is known for his precision, control, and highly refined technique. And in fact, I would even go as far to say that his playing very much reflects the modern standard that has become increasingly popular with modern classical guitarists. Okay, what do we think about Gabriel's playing now? What I notice right out of the gate is that, one, he's in a different room than Julian Bream was, so the sound is maybe perhaps a little more dry. But other than that, the tone quality, his tone has this very round sound to it. It's very warm and it's very round. And you hear the precision, right? You hear the clarity in the sound. Some colors. So you can also see how much care he's taking in dampening the strings to achieve that clarity and that precision. He never has a note that is unwanted or like excess ringing where some notes are over ringing each other and kind of making things muddy. Everything is very, very well balanced, and he does a lot of that with his right hand, which is not easy to do on guitar. It's very impressive. Very different fingering there than Bream's. Bream's went up and did a bunch of vibrato where he stayed in the same position. Also, incredible performance, right? Great tone, great clarity. I would maybe argue that there's a little bit less risk-taking maybe than Bream, where Bianco plays, again, what he does is amazing. He plays a lot of times with his hand more or less in the same position, right? He adds some colors here and there, but it's a little bit different than how Bream does it, where I would argue this it's a lot of risk-taking, right? A lot of risk-taking. But still, nonetheless, a great performance. So which interpretation do you feel like served the music better? And maybe that's a little bit of a loaded question, because I don't make these videos to say one guitarist is better than another guitarist. I simply make these videos to celebrate what each individual musician has accomplished. And so I always like to say different folks, different strokes, right? And I mean, how lucky are we that we just get to witness and watch these videos where we get to sort of take a peek into each musician's soul and listen and admire their own musicality for who they are, because they're different. And that's one of the beautiful things about music, right? Is not that one person or everybody has to do it the same ways as one person, right? We can be different and we can have our own personal preferences and our own musical tastes. And that, to me, is a beautiful thing. So let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content, and we'll see you guys in the next video.